Wherever you may be in this glorious county, Humboldt Crabs baseball is on the air. Hi, I'm Hoke Holcomb, along with my broadcasting buddies, the Professor Benjamin Schaefer, Mitchell Manji, and Liam Warner, coming to you from the Arcata Ballpark. We're just a block from the historic plaza in downtown Arcata. And Benjamin, tonight, the second game between the Crabs and the Stockton Pearls. The Crabs victorious in last night's contest. What was the final score of that one?
I believe it was it 8-0 last night? 8-0 last night.
8-0.
Yeah, it was a better game than the score may suggest. It was a tighter game earlier on, and then, as often happens in Crabs games, the Crabs put a lot of distance between themselves and the Pearls in the last few innings. But it was a well-played game all the way around. Pearls had some trouble on defense up the middle, but other than that, it was a good game.
Yeah, I was listening. I saw a part of it. When I left, it was 4-0 Crabs, and the opponents had committed 4 miscues, which
on the
contributed to a victory.
Yeah, the shortstop and the second baseman between them made 4 errors last night.
Wow. Well, you didn't make any in the booth, did you?
I don't know if I've made one ever in the booth that I know of.
The humility, I have missed it so. Let us give you the starting lineups. Well, first of all, let's set the Crabs defensively for you. On the mound is Brody Jacobs, and Brody's third outing of the year, his first start. He'll be throwing to Kavana Soares. In the infield, it's Liam Forsythe at first base. Where's our second baseman? I don't see who's our second. That's our second baseman. Okay, Parker Rogers at second, Michael Peraza at short, and Elijah McNeil at third. And the first pitch of the ball game rides high and tight, ball 1. In the outfield, Jacob Pappas in left, Timmy Reed, Fleet center fielder, and Sutter Moss has the duties in right. Working from the stretch, Jacob's next offering is a fastball hit in the air to short center field. Moving in on it, under it is Timmy Reed, and he gathers it in for the first out of the ball game. So a lazy fly to center field starts it off for Jacobs. And watching him pitch, you can tell he's been a reliever. I mean, he starts his pitches as a reliever would. Left-handed hitting Eli Hancock at the plate. He takes a fastball wide, 1-0.
Sun is finally breaking through today. Hoke, it's been overcast all week, but tonight's game, the sun is breaking through on the horizon, and
nice.
Turning out to be a nice evening.
Comfortable? If you're within the sound of our voice, still time to get to the ballpark. Fastball called, strike 1, and the count even at 1-1. Hancock will be followed by their big first baseman, Caleb Velo, or Velo. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
I've been saying Velo, but Velo? I don't know if that's right or not.
Jacobs' next offering backs Hancock off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Just underway. 1 out here in the top of the first. The set and the pitch. Hit in the air to short left field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. A little dunker fielded there by Pappas and back into the infield, and on first base with the first hit of the ball game is Eli Hancock.
Hit right off the end of the bat.
As they say, it'll be a line drive in the scorebook tomorrow.
That's right.
Here's Velo. Stockily built right-handed hitting first baseman. Waves the bat back and forth. Jacobs at the set. Comes home. Fastball over the plate but low, 1-0.
Velo 2 for 3 last night, with a walk as well.
Short lead at first by Hancock. Jacobs is set. Comes to the plate. Good pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch outside. He got him leaning on a breaking pitch, and that was nasty. Ball and a strike. Turns out to be a pleasant evening. Folks in light jackets, but as Benjamin said, the sun has joined us. Fastball high and inside. Oh, no, called strike. Late call by the umpire. Got to get used to the umpire's rhythm here. So it's 1-2. Right-hander versus right-hander. Forsythe holding the runner on at first. The 1-2. Hit in the air to short center field. Moving in and again making the catch in center is Timmy Reed. So a couple of lazy fly balls bracket a 1-out single, and now with 2 down, it'll be the designated hitter, left-handed hitting Spencer Webb coming to the plate, a big guy. Wearing one of my favorite numbers, number 24 at the bat.
One of mine too.
Long look into Suarez.
Webb didn't start last night. He came in as a pinch hitter and struck out.
The pitch to him, taken for a called strike, fastball. He's been able to pinpoint that well early on. Crabgrass Band is not here tonight, but they'll be here Friday when the Athletic Express comes into town for a 3-game set. Have the Pearls been on the schedule prior to
today? This is their first season with us, I believe.
Okay. Jacobs at the set. The runner goes. The pitch is swung on, fouled off, out of play, out of the park, and it's 0-2. Jacobs ahead on the count. No balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Spencer Webb. Let's see if the runner goes again. He doesn't, and the pitch is fouled off behind us and out of play. So in the old days, we used to say we'll rewind the tape and do it again, but youngsters will know what's the tape. What's he talking about, Scotch tape? Yeah. And he used to talk about the pitcher winding up. That doesn't happen much anymore.
You don't see him too much anymore.
No.
I noticed I was watching Major League games the other day, and the pitcher had a full wind-up.
Yeah.
I was thinking about how rare that is nowadays.
The runner goes, the pitch is fouled off again.
Well, tenacious at bat.
He's hanging in there, making Jacobs work. 0-2. He's fouled off 3 pitches. Folks still coming into the ballpark. If you're within the sound of our voice, this remains the greatest entertainment bargain on the North Coast.
Lots of people know it. We've had pretty much full houses.
Good crowds.
Since opening day.
Yeah. Super. Throw to first, runner back easily.
I think the new facade has something to do with that.
Isn't it gorgeous?
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And I like the fact that it not only says Arcata Ballpark,
but it also says
home of the Humboldt Crabs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Pitcher a long wait, and the pitch grounded down to the shortstop. He's got it. He scoops it to the second baseman, Rogers, and that'll do it in the top of the first inning for the Pearls. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left, and at the end of half an inning, it's the Pearls, nothing in the Crabs coming to bat. You're listening to Crabs Baseball on
ESPN 107.3 FM.
That's the one. Welcome back to the ballpark. Hulk Holcomb along with longtime broadcasting partner Benjamin Schaefer, and we're going to turn it over to Benjamin to do the bottom half of the first inning. We're happy to find that he was here tonight. We had been told he was going to the annual banquet of Flat Earth Society. You know, Benjamin is Western Regional Vice President of that organization. And,
They're
really
not telling
great
you everything.
great to have you here. Here he is, Benjamin Schaefer.
Well, Hoke, I have to say, this is one of the greatest surprises and best surprises in a long time. Have you show up at the ballpark tonight? How many years did we do the games together?
19.
19 years we did the games together.
Yep. Yep.
I'm just thrilled you're here.
Yeah. It's a surreal experience to be back in the booth.
Isn't
after
it? Yeah.
It had been 6 years.
A different booth.
Yeah.
Perazzo leads it off for the Crabs, and he swings and misses at a pitch inside, 0-1. Connor Blackburn on the mound for the Pearls. It's Blackburn on the mound. Caleb Hendricks is catching. Caleb Velo at first. Houston McCrary at second. Here's the next pitch, waved at a pitch away from the plate, 0-2. Joshua Ramirez at short. Bo Blake at third. Eli Hancock in left. Tim Ayers in center, and Aiden Williams out in right field. 0-2 to Perazzo. Breaking pitch, and he just gets a piece of, boy, that curve has a lot of break on it, Hope.
It does.
Swung right over the top of it. Next pitch is in the dirt.
I was checking out the profiles of this year's Crabs in the online, and this gentleman is quite a scholar in addition to being an athlete.
1-2 pitch.
Oh.
Line in right field for a base hit. Yeah, you were saying that before the game.
Yeah, I wish I had my.
Do we have the details on that at all? Or?
If you go to the Crabs roster and look up, it'll have a
their
place
bios.
for a profile
Yeah.
for each of the players. Yeah.
From the University of Hawaii at Hilo, number 10, Kavana Soros.
Here's Kavanasaurus.
Now Kavana played for us 2 years ago and then was absent last year. Wasn't here last year and now is back.
If that's
right?
correct, yeah.
From Hawaii.
That's correct. Saurus last night was, he takes a pitch low. He was on base 5 times, twice by way of error. He was hit by a pitch twice. And he walked.
So he was 0 for 2, but
But he reached base 5 times.
Yeah, well, nice.
Here's the pitch. High and outside, 2-0, excuse me.
They don't even line a coach's box anymore.
No, they haven't done that in a long time.
Really? Yeah.
No.
Well, they didn't
and we're
mean
doing
much
that
when they were
stupid
there.
rule with the extra inning nonsense.
Oh, I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, well, we're doing it now.
I know. I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah, it's like an infestation. It's come here.
How
Next pitch is a strike.
a high strike, we say.
A high strike.
A pitcher's strike, we call that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that decided by the league that they were
I
going
don't
to put that
know.
runner on
Who
second?
knows? I don't know.
It was agreed to by the coaches.
The coaches.
Of the league.
No, it was a non-league game, so the
Oh.
coaches just agreed to it.
2-1 is hit in the air. Shallow right field. That is going to be caught by the right fielder. That hung up a long time. Aiden Williams out there had to kind of battle the wind a little bit. It's a little bit breezy.
Yeah.
But he made the
I
catch.
thought he was fighting the sun too.
You may be
Could
right.
that
Yeah.
be?
You may be right. Yeah. 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 Next thing you know, there's going to be a clock out here and some nonsense.
Well, I think the clock for the big league game has been beneficial. We got rid of some stuff that was not necessary. But the runner on second base makes no sense at all.
Breaking pitches.
You don't
right
like the
over
clock,
I don't
huh?
like any of it. Or hard to play for a called strike.
you know.
No, I don't like the clock. There's no clocks in baseball.
Well, there is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a fan like you or a fan like me,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But
Throw to first.
my wife, she likes to watch baseball, but she said the game's too long. I don't want to put it, I like it more now. So for the casual fan, it's been a plus.
The 0-1.
Of course, to Benjamin,
This is
there's no
high.
such thing as a
What does
casual
that mean,
fan.
casual fan? What?
Right. Anyhow, we're definitely agreed on the runner on second base. I don't know where that comes from.
Ugh, awful. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Popped in the air to left field. Playable. Hancock has it, 2 away.
And he's got some
Peraza.
Sunglasses out there.
Well, as you know, left
Yeah,
side of the
right.
left side of the park is always difficult
The
this time of
Sunfield,
day.
yeah.
Guys
Yeah.
playing 20 inning marathon.
Now batting for the Crabs from Delta College, number 6, Sutter Moss.
Here's Sutter Moss, right fielder.
Now, there's no rule about the infielders here either. I see 3 on the right side of the infield, and under the major
they
league
can
rules,
do the shift here. Right?
Yeah.
They can't do the shift anymore in the major leagues. Yeah,
can't do that.
didn't like that either. There it goes. The pitch is popped in the air to center field. Ayers coming in on it. He's got a bead, and that ends the inning. No runs, no errors, runner left for the Crabs. At the end of an inning, we're tied at 0. This is exciting Crabs baseball, 107.3 FM.
Some shout-outs. Those were some good.
All right, we're back. Benjamin Schaefer along with Hope Holcomb. Top of the second inning for the Pearls. Hendricks, Williams, and McCrary to bat.
Crabs going for their, how many wins in a row?
9th.
They're undefeated. 9th.
They're undefeated, 9 in a row.
Nice way to start the season. The tough ones are coming up after this weekend. We
That
go
is
on the road, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Liam's going to be bringing you all the action to those games, and you're going to be wanting to tuning in because generally those are the best teams we play.
yeah. Mitchell going with Liam, or is it one man going to do it?
Just Liam.
Liam's going to do the whole thing. All right.
There's a pitch down low, 1-0.
Oh, yeah, I'm willing.
And then we travel to Medford in July, and then those teams that we're playing on the road are going to be here in July as well.
I went to a couple of Medford Road games when we lived in Southern Oregon. Nice
it a
park.
1-0?
Well, we were there. We did.
We did some games.
And
there.
they have
Yeah.
a great facility for broadcasters there.
Yeah, they have a big booth with, very roomy, very nice. And they're always super nice to us, too, when we go there.
sure
I
are.
think that's the thing.
So easy, but it's still a lot less work.
1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Hendricks last night was 0 for 2. Brody Jacobs out on the mound for the Crabs. No score. Top of the second inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Low and outside.
Of course, with YouTube now, we're able to watch the games. We live in Tumwater, Washington, which is right next to the capital, Olympia. And, we have the same view that we have right here.
Pretty much, yeah. 2-2 pitch. Hot grounder out to shortstop. He kicks it, and that's going to go into left field. That'll be an error on Peraza. There's that seam right on the grass before you hit the dirt out there.
Yeah.
And sometimes that seam kicks the ball up sort of chest high to the fielder. And
Couldn't we then call that a bad hop single? Just asking.
we could. We're not going to.
I figured. Absolute control over the scorebook now and forever.
Fastball inside. I mean, it was right at him.
Well, yeah, it was, but it took a wicked hop. I mean, I don't know.
I know.
We've had this argument for 19 years. It didn't got nowhere.
Strike at the knees. 1-1. I mean,
You're the ERA's best friend.
And I've mellowed. One pitch swung on and missed. 1 and 2. Runner over at first.
This system is so antiquated. Like, it's like
Throw over there, and the runner's back.
the early 2000s. So,
1 and 2. That one's fouled up against screen. Just missed that one, Hope.
Yeah. Yep. Is the scoreboard the same scoreboard they used to have?
Nope.
I thought it was much clearer, brighter, nicer.
When it's working, it is.
Oh,
all
when it's
those
working?
things, yes.
Yeah, the original one was provided by Pepsi Cola or
I
something.
remember
wasn't
that. Yeah, this one's pretty good, but
Yeah.
it has had last year. Last year it was not consistent. Runner's going. The pitch is hit in the air to center field, and he's going to have to dash back as Reed makes the catch.
it? He had that base stolen.
He sure did. He had a huge jump. 1 away.
One of the things that pleased me a lot last year, Benjamin, watching the games from afar, was when they put the ball up there for Nutter, for the Nutter
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
It was overdue, and it,
Yeah, it's cool.
You know, it was a number of Nutters involved in
It's
the
true.
Crabs, and it was nice to see Matt out here.
That family had a lot to do with Crab's success.
Absolutely.
There's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 now to McCrary. McCrary last night 0 for 3. Crab's pitching has been just great this season. Really, really consistent. Throw to first.
Do you know how many hurlers they're carrying this year? 11, 10, 11?
The roster's there.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
exactly how many are on there. The 0-1. And that one gets away from Soros, and that's going to allow the runner to go to second. That's a pass ball.
I'd
So,
say at least a dozen.
At least a
At
dozen,
least
yeah.
on that list. You still have players coming in, right?
I think pretty much everybody's here now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 more. 2 more have to come in.
All right.
Yeah. So far, I'd say this team has more power than last year for sure. Although sometimes it's the ball. You never know. I mean, but here's the pitch. Slow roller out to second base. That's going to advance the runner as the out is recorded at first. 2 away. Here's Ayers. And the pitching has been great. So I have high hopes for the Crabs going into that series next week.
They fell a little short of making the playoffs last year, right? They
That's
were in
right.
the top 2.
Part of that was because they got swept on that. They lost all 6 games on the road last year when they went to. Sorry, not all 6 games on the road. They lost all the 6 games they lost on the road trip to San Luis Obispo and Healdsburg. So they came back after that.
At one point, weren't they 9 under or something?
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
Yeah.
only won the count.
A good rebound.
So. The 0-1. In the air down the left field line. Could be trouble, but it's going to go foul into the bullpen. 0-2 now to Ayers. Hendricks over at third. Top of the second inning. No score.
They're still looking for their first run. Not only of this game, but they were shut
They
out
didn't get it
yesterday,
down
right?
last night either, no. And they had chances last night too, but the Crabs pitchers just worked their way out of it. Let's see, last night it was Miles Oliver and Spencer Jacobs, and both of them were great. Oh, nasty breaking pitch, swung on and missed. That ends the inning. No runs, hit, no errors, a runner left, and at the end, sorry, there was 1 error, there were no hits. 1 runner left, and at the end of an inning and a half, it's the Pearl nothing, the Crabs nothing. This is Crabs Baseball 107.3 FM.
First birthday, Julia Webster.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Thanks to Baywood Golf and Country Club and Big Blue Cafe. Visit the Crab's favorite, the Big Blue Cafe on the plaza in Arcata, serving breakfast and lunch all day. Welcome home to the Big Blue. Also, Crestmark Millwork, a local manufacturer of custom cabinetry and millwork for commercial projects throughout California and Oregon, creating signature elements of extraordinary spaces since 1997. Crestmark is committed to promoting a healthy and productive society by investing in the relationships with their employees, local communities, suppliers, and customers.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great. Forsyth, Pappas, and Reed to bat for the Crabs, and there's a fastball high and outside. 1-0 to Logan Forsyth. Connor Blackburn out on the mound for the Pearls. Here's the 1-0. In the air to left field and deep, going, off the wall. On his way to second is Forsyth. Here comes the throw. It's not in time. It's a stand-up double or a sliding double. Had the distance, just not the height. So leadoff double for Forsyth. Here's Pappas.
For the Humboldt Crabs from Fresno State, number 35, Jacob Pappas.
Jacob Pappas had his debut as the Crabs last night and had a single and a double and was on base 4 times last night.
Nice way to inaugurate your
That's right.
Crab season.
That's right. Runner out on second, nobody out, and that pitch almost hit him. Inside. The 1-0. Strike about 1.5 feet off the plate. Something's going on down at home plate. That space and time appear to be stretched down there because pitches that are like 3 feet off the plate for the last couple nights have been strikes on either side. So my theory is, like I said, there's some kind of stretching going on, maybe a massive object there at home plate. So let's tap her out to second base. Throw to first in time. The runner advances.
Good as a bunt, runner on third with 1 out. So the question is, would you rather have a runner on second and no outs, or a runner on third and 1 out?
Third and 1 out.
Me too.
Fly ball scores him. Here's Timmy Reed, center fielder. Reed had a big single last night. Drove in a few runs, a couple runs in the 8th inning. That's really what put the distance between the Crabs and the Pearls.
Mm-hmm. Well, in addition to being able to score on the fly ball, the way the infield's playing here, a ground ball up the middle is going to bring that runner home.
Or a wild pitch. Or
a wild pitch, certainly at this level, that enters into it.
1-1 now to Reed. Takes low. Two and one. 1-1. Here's the pitch. This is inside with a fastball. Catches the inside corner, actually. Sorry. I was anticipating that call. But
that's perilous duty with this umpire.
You can see the TrackMan here on our computer.
Oh, wow.
This is the strike zone. You can,
yeah.
You can see where that ball was. That's lashed in the left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. And the Crabs take a 1-0 lead. Timmy Reed comes through again.
Solid single.
Here's McNeil. I don't think McNeil played last night. McNeil didn't play last night. Yeah, actually, he did play. Yeah, right. That was his debut as well last night. He was 1 for 4. And the pitch. Inside. 1-0. Yeah, we have this. It'll tell you where the pitch was. It'll tell you the release. It'll also tell you the speed off the bat.
Wow.
It's cool.
It's a
Yeah.
radar system that's installed on top of the booth.
Next pitch is hit in the air to center field. Going back is Ayers at the warning track. He reaches up and makes the catch. Two away.
That had some carry.
Sure did.
The amount of material available,
I know.
even at this level, is so much greater than it was
There are
a
cameras.
decade ago.
I learned yesterday there's cameras all around the ballpark. They can see from center field. They have a camera over here above the dugout on the Crab side. Yeah. They can watch the batters and the pitchers from all different angles. And that's just at our level.
Yeah.
As you said,
The,
it's amazing.
the analytics at major league level is they can.
Oh, yeah. There's a pitch right in there for a called strike to Rogers. 0-1. Reed's still over at first. The run is in for the Crabs. They lead 1-0. Throw to first, and Reed is back.
I have more. I just didn't look into
The 0-1. Grounded slowly out to short. He scoops to second for the force, and that'll end the inning. But the Crabs get a run on a couple of hits. There were no errors and a runner left, and at the end of 2, they lead it 1-0. This is exciting Crabs baseball, 107.3 FM. All right, we are back. Top of the 3rd inning. It'll be Ramirez, Blake, and Hancock for the Pearls, with the Crabs leading 1-0.
I kind of like the visitors' uniforms. Kind of
Yeah.
a light blue.
Yeah, it's cool. Last night they had kind of the same color as the umpire uniforms. The Pearls, I think they're a pretty new team. Here's the pitch. Misses high, 1-0. Remember, we used to have the Neptune Pearls used to come in and play.
Yeah.
They were the Pearl. And I guess they went defunct during COVID. A lot of teams went defunct during COVID. It was kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
The 1-0.
That Reading team that was hot for a few years and then folded.
The Colt 45s?
Yeah.
Did they fold?
They're still in operation. We just don't play them.
They still play. We just don't
do
play
they?
them.
Oh.
Yeah. 2-0. Swung on a missed.
The B-52s folded.
I saw that. That
I was
was
sorry
sad.
when the
B-52s.
B-52s folded.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed beating them. 2-1 to count.
Dominance, folks. It's dominance.
Right down the middle for a called strike, 2-2. Especially in their own park. That was really special.
Yeah. We weren't always treated well when we went to Reading.
In Reading, no, I don't miss them. 2-2 the count. I used to love beating them for that reason. 2-2 pitch. Low and outside.
And of course, for many, many years, the chief antagonist to the Crabs was a team from the Bay Area, Fontanetti Athletics.
Fontanetti Athletics.
And Jerry Fontanetti, the owner of Fontanetti Sporting Goods, would call up because he couldn't hear the game, but he'd call up to find out the score.
I remember that, yeah. 3-2. Misses high, and he walks the leadoff hitter. Remember they had that guy, Ron Mingo, who played first base for them?
Absolutely.
And then the Crabs signed him for,
Yeah.
for one season.
He had some kind of record for typewriting.
He was the world's fastest
typewriter.
typist.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he was a character. He was a talker at first base. He never shut up.
I really like that. That
He
was cool.
fun.
You don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
So runner at first. We're back to the top of the order. Here's Blake. He flied to center his first at bat. And the pitch. This is inside. Big lead over at first by Ramirez. And now a throw over there, and he dives back safely.
Outfield change much position-wise in terms of who's up at the bat?
I don't think they really do a lot of that. I noticed a little bit last night. Next pitch is swung on and missed, but I think it has more to do with the pitcher than it does the batters.
Makes sense.
Because they had a pitcher last night who threw pretty hard, and we had a left-handed batter, and I noticed that they were shifting, the Pearls were shifting the center fielder to the left a little bit. I'm assuming it's because they were thinking he could be late on a pitch. The next pitch is thrown over to first. But I think, we can't really scout the players, as you know, so
right,
kind of hard to know. 1-1. Fastball inside. 2-1.
That's pretty fast. 85 miles an hour fastball. That's pretty nice.
Next pitch misses away. 3-1. Another big lead over there with Ramirez.
Going to go 3-1? No.
3-1 is fouled out of play, and the count goes full. From the set, the 3-2. Fouled up against the screen. No band tonight at the ballpark. Still a good crowd.
I was reading a wonderful North Coast Journal issue, and one of the articles dealt with the Crabgrass Band. I didn't know that they'd been around since 1983. That's a long time.
I didn't know that either. 3-2 is popped in the air, right field. Moss going back, and now comes in a couple steps and makes the catch for out number one. Ramirez returns to first.
If you'd like to know more about the Humboldt Crabs, you cannot do better than getting a hold of the current issue of the North Coast.
Yeah.
What is it, North Coast Journal?
North Coast Journal, that's right.
And the author of the main article is a man, I don't know if he's still around, Scott Gurley.
I've seen them around a little bit. I think they're here occasionally, not regularly. Here's the pitch. In the air to shallow left field. And there's two away.
That whole family was composed of outstanding writers. Scott was a writer. His wife,
Gail
was on the board of directors with us. And she was also an excellent writer. And their son was going into some form of writing. So, very talented family. And very nice family.
Here's Velo. He flied to center his first at bat, and he swings a fastball. Whew. Some trouble catching up with that. 2 outs, runner at first.
Cavana was about to throw the ball back to the pitcher, and the batter had stumbled across the plate. If he'd have let the ball go, it'd hit him in the back of the head.
There's a high topper over to short. Tough play. Throw on the run. Well done.
Impressive.
That ends the inning. Yeah. No runs, no hits, no errors. A runner left at the end of 2.5. Crabs lead at 1-0. This is exciting Crabs baseball 103.7 FM.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah,
Looks like we have a race with the kiddos.
All right, we are back. Bottom of the third inning. It'll be the top of the order for the Crabs. Peraza, Soares, and Sewell. Leading 1-0. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Crabs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Pearls.
Mention another fellow who's been a tremendous asset to the Humboldt Crabs, never in a uniform, never actually a player, but has done incredible amount of wonderful photography of the Crabs, and that's Matt Field.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Matt's
outstanding.
always down there on the field taking photos. And nobody loves the Crabs more than Matt does.
Yep.
There's a strike on the outside corner to Peraza. He singled his first at bat. Matt served as president of the Crabs for a while as well.
Oh, he was president. Yeah, I remember we got in trouble with Matt for a little bit.
The 0-1.
Remember
was
that?
Outside. Was that over the whole Oyster Fest incident?
Yeah, when they had the Oyster
When
Fest.
they fenced in the oyster, when they fenced it in?
Yeah, it was like East Germany.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool, huh? They put a fence all around the plaza. Want to know. Strike in there, 1-2. That's coming up again now, anytime.
Tomorrow. Or, I mean, Saturday.
No, I meant the fencing.
Oh. No, the fencing's not coming up again. Except maybe around the country.
That's
I
what I
don't want to
mean.
get into that.
Yeah. 1-2 in the dirt. 2-2. Yeah, the Oyster Fest is this weekend. Yes, we objected to the fencing in of the
Yeah,
Oyster Fest.
and the person who was in charge complained to Matt Filar, and, you know, understandable. But Matt said we had to cool it, and
Swung on and missed.
we did.
Did we?
Well, as much as we could. But then, of course, it turned out to be a fiasco.
It was a fiasco. Yeah,
And,
just as we said it was going to be.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Here's Soares with 1 out. You want oysters? Show us your papers. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1-0.
Well, it's turned into an absolutely gorgeous evening.
It sure has.
Blue sky and sunshine.
1-0. Catches the outside corner, 1-1. The 1-1. Misses low and outside. 2-1. Let's hope it's a nice weekend for the Oyster Festival. And
Yeah.
Crabs play 2:30 p.m. on Saturday. We're going to come to that game. It's kind of an ideal time, the 2-1. In there for a strike at Denise, 2-2.
I remember we used to have a problem with folks who were a little bit inebriated coming over to the ball game from
that's
the
why
Oyster
we
Festival.
changed the time.
Yeah, wise.
2-2 pitch.
Ooh.
Breaking pitch. Whoa, just missed high. And it's 3-2 now to Soares. But, you know, it's good because it gives you time to go check out the Oyster Festival, have some oysters
Sure.
for lunch, and then make it to the ball game.
Absolutely.
3-2 pitch. Oh, nasty curveball. Swung on and missed. 2 away. Back-to-back strikeouts for Blackburn.
Now that for the Humboldt Crabs from Sacramento State, number 11, Cameron Sewell.
Here's Cameron Sewell. Sewell flied to left his first at bat.
Pretty much all the players are now recruited by Robin Guyver, right? Do we have anyone else doing recruiting?
I don't know this. I don't know.
Of course, in the old days,
I think it is pretty much Robin. Well, it used to be Ned.
Ned Barsulia for many years.
All the for decades. Swung on and missed. Ned did all that.
Remember, each year Ned would have one player he'd call his sleeper. And this guy didn't have great statistics, but he thought he had a chance to really shine. Ned was a good judge of talent and
sure
was often correct.
The 0-2. Tapped foul. Yeah. Ned always sat in front of the Crabs dugout in his lawn chair out there.
Mm-hmm. Used to call him the grand old man of the Humboldt Crabs.
0-2 the count. Breaking pitch. Just got a piece of it and fouls it up against the screen.
Foul ball sponsored by the Fair Play.
So Blackburn strike away from striking out the side here in the third. And it's mostly junk.
Yeah, but a pretty effective junk, huh?
Yeah. Oh, and 2. Oh, close pitch. Nice take.
Wasn't that a play? The junk man cometh? Was that the junk man? I may be confused.
I think
I may be
you're
confused.
1-2. Ground ball into right field. Base hit.
Just out of the reach of the second baseman. That's a seeing eye single. Well placed.
I think you're thinking of the ice salesman.
Oh, was that it?
Death of the ice salesman.
Probably so. Arthur Miller, wasn't it?
Number 6, Center Moss.
Here's Moss. Runner at first.
And now we're going into that exaggerated
No, we're going to
shift. For the left-handed hitter, we got 3 fielders on the right side of the infield.
I don't think there should be a rule that tells you where to put your players. Runner goes. The pitch is a strike on the inside corner. No throws. The catcher, Hendricks, dropped the ball. So an easy steal for Sewell.
The only argument for it, and it wouldn't apply here. You're right. Here, it should not be. But in major leagues, analytics are so great
I know,
that it makes some sense.
It's true because they know, they know how to pitch somebody to get them to hit into the hole or whatever. But they tried that against Williams and it didn't work. Pitches strike on the outside corner. 0-2, and offenses adjust. It's evolution, man. That's how it works.
Right. Well, that's
what
true.
I mean?
Yeah. Of course, they tried a lot of things against Williams that didn't work. So
yeah, that's right. 0-2 in the dirt. So Sewell in scoring position with 2 outs. 1-2 now. The count to Sutter Moss. Moss has hit some towering home runs. And runners going, and there's nobody covering
there
third.
You go.
That's the shift for you.
That's the shift. The third baseman is in the shortstop's position, and there was no one at the bag. So heads up base running.
So we're on third now with 2 outs. On the pitch. Right down the middle, called strike 3.
Struck out the side.
Inning over, he did. No runs, a hit. No runs, a walk. No errors, a runner left. And at the end of 3, Crabs lead at 1-0. This is Crabs Baseball, 107.3 FM.
Welcome back to the ballpark. We're ready to begin the fourth inning of play and to bring you all the action. My friend, man who grew up across the street from me, listening to me broadcast games for many years. Here he is, Mitchell Mungie.
I don't know if you know, Hope, but I used to try and talk back to the radio in hopes that you'd be able to hear me and give my input from the other end.
That's great.
It didn't work too well.
That's funny because my wife and I claim we have interactive when we're watching Mariner games, and for extra money we can have our comments in the dugout.
You can buy just about anything these days.
Yeah, that's right.
Second pitch to Webb is off the plate. Count is 2-0. Brody Jacobs still on the mound for the Crabs, a tall right-hander. Comes set. Deals that pitch is fouled out of play. And Jacobs, you and Benjamin had talked about it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. They talked about him working exclusively out of the stretch. He's a 3-pitch pitcher, which is they're trying to work him into becoming a starter.
Right.
Jacobs, set, and deals. Swung on and missed, and Webb goes down swinging.
Benjamin gave me a coupon to win a 50-50 prize.
It's guaranteed.
And, you know, I worked with the guy for 19 years. He never gave me anything. So it's terrific. He's loosening up.
Now I can truly tell you, don't say I never gave you anything.
Yeah, that's right.
That'll bring up Hendricks. Catcher reached base on an error. His first at bat takes called strike 1 just on the outside part of the plate. Jacobs into his 4th inning of work now on the hill for the Crabs. The 0-1. Fouled straight back to the screen, quickly ahead now 0-2.
And Mitchell, you're now doing football and basketball, right?
This is CR football, doing Humboldt Lumberjacks for basketball. I also did for their stream some soccer, volleyball, softball.
Fantastic.
Yeah. A mixed bag.
He's a sports genius.
0-2. Jacobs deals high. Ball 1. 80 miles an hour, top of the zone. Hendricks electing not to go after it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jacobs set, deals, inside, check
Hit the bat.
swing. Fouled it off. And we had that the other night where players showed bunt, did not pull back, and took a pitch right off the chest. That's a strike.
Call it, yeah.
Yeah,
you
got to get the bat back.
All right.
So check swing foul keeps the count at 1-2. 1 away here, top of the 4th. Crabs up 1-0. On the belt, Jacobs deals. High and away, ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes with 1 out, top of the 4th. 5-hole hitter, the Stockton Pearls. The pitch. And lost the bat out of his hand as the ball was fouled out of play.
Oh, now the hecklers are coming out. Lost his bat, goes back to the backstop and picks it up. Crowd gives him a few raspberries.
That walk's just a little bit longer here at the Arcata Ballpark.
Yeah.
Short backstop, long walk to get the bat.
That's right.
The right-handed hitting Hendricks now having a couple of words with the umpire before stepping back into the batter's box. Here's the 2-2. Inside.
No.
And that was a ball. So
Oh.
just off the plate inside.
Okay.
I was confused because Hendricks started headed to first like it was a walk.
It was a ball 4.
Did I have the count wrong? No. Full count now. The pitch. Same spot, a little bit lower, and that is ball 4.
Tying run aboard now for the Pearl. I guess they're not the Pearl, they're the Pearls.
Pearls, plural.
Plural.
More than one.
Okay.
No specification about the number of oysters. That's coming up on Saturday.
The shell, you say.
So here's Williams. Right fielder flew out to center his first plate appearance. First pitch is low for a ball. So
This is probably as long as he's gone for, I don't know how long, but he's been a reliever.
yeah,
And we're in the 4th inning, so we'll see how he does.
1 ball, no strikes. Short lead for Hendricks at first. The pitch, inside for a ball. And Coach Giacconi before the game was expecting tonight to be a little bit of a bullpen game, but we haven't seen any activity out on the left field bullpen for the Crabs.
It's quiet out there thus far.
The right-handed hitting Williams, 2 balls, no strikes. Jacobs deals. Caught the top part of the zone. Barely.
Did it catch it up? It looked high to me. That looks high.
That's pretty high.
Yeah.
Top part of the zone tonight. Forgot to specify. There's a chopper out to short. Perazo off the heel of his glove, and everybody's going to be safe.
I think I would even agree with Benjamin that that's an error.
Well, now that Benjamin doesn't have his headset on, he's free to yell at the umpires as he pleases.
Yeah, that's right. I wondered if he still did that, and you indicated that it's
Yes.
still a part of his repertoire. That ball must have had some English on it, because it seemed to squiggle toward the shortstop, and
It looked clean coming off the grass and then almost died when it hit the dirt.
yeah. I say it had topspin. I'm going to try and give the shortstop some cover, but it was definitely an error.
I was going to go with backspin, but
Backspin.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Here's McCray,
Bunt.
left-handed hitter, showing bunt.
Ooh, he got hit.
Did it hit him?
No indication, but the runners now move up 90 feet, each of them. So the Pearls now with the tying run at third base and the go-ahead run at second, and the count a ball and no strikes.
And only-
I thought it hit him.
Yeah, and only 1 out, too.
Yeah.
So a good scoring opportunity here in the top of the 4th for the Pearls, trailing the Crabs 1-0.
Crabs are choosing to play the infield back. So a ground ball to the middle should tie the ball game.
Pitch to McCray. Fouled away out of play, 1-1.
I think that's the way I'd play it in the 4th inning. I wouldn't bring the infield in.
Especially with the way that the bats have been.
You bring the
Going.
infield in, it's easier to get that single, and they can get 2 runs more easily.
1-1 is fouled down the third baseline and touched into the dirt, so it is a foul ball. Soros hustling down the line to ensure that ball remained foul.
That was the ultimate nubber. Do you know if balls are muddied here, as they are in big league baseball? Do they mud the balls? Okay.
Yeah, though. It was brought up. My thought was that given the funding for the Crabs and then probably a limited number of supply of baseballs, that they come worn in over the course of the season, but I'd guess they would be more slick towards the start of the year. Because they
If
do
they don't mud 'em.
recycle.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jacobs trying to work out of a bit of a jam. His pitch is belted down the right field line. Will it stay fair?
Foul.
No.
Foul. Just barely. I had a good bead on that one, and it was real close. That was a 2-run double had it been fair.
Yeah, just a couple of feet on the right side of that wide line out there. So just a long strike. Now we've got some activity going in Crabs bullpen right-hander warming up. So runners on second and third. Hendricks, the tying run at third. Williams would be the go-ahead run at second. 1-2 to McCray. There's a chopper on the right side of the infield. Rogers off a hop goes to first, gets the out, but a run comes in to score, and we have a tie ball game.
Runner on second moving to third, so with 2 down, runner 90 feet away from putting the Pearls on top.
The man with that opportunity will be Tim Ayers, another left-handed hitter. Williams, the runner at third.
There's a strikeout victim, his first at bat.
That pitch looked off the plate, but a strike. As Benjamin would say, we'll take it. Yeah. We referring to himself and the Crabs.
I understand. The royal we.
Yes. The 0-1. Way inside, but Suarez picked it.
Nice job by the catcher, Suarez. Savas, right? How does it pronounce?
Suarez.
Suarez.
And Cabana Suarez, University of Hawaii at Hilo, playing collegiate baseball there. As you mentioned, a Crab in 2023. Been excellent defensively early on in this season for the Crabs behind the dish. Here's the 1-1. Off the plate for a ball. I should pause on those pitches off the plate now, given what we've seen in this at bat.
Well, no, I don't, but no, I don't know much about it.
Ball nonetheless. 2 balls, 1 strike now. The count to errors.
Probably too early in the season to get a read on the various umpires, but you know, some call a low strike, some don't. This guy calls outside pitches a strike.
As long as
Wide
it's
strike zone.
consistent.
Yeah, if it's consistent, then you should know.
2-1 is flown out into left field. And coming in to make the catch is Jacob Pappas for out number 3. So Crabs allow the tying run to come in. We are 1-1 headed to the bottom of the 4th here on ESPN 107.3. Back at the ballpark, tie game, Pearls and Crabs 1-1 in the bottom of the 4th. It'll be 5, 6, 7, Forsyth, Pappas, and Reed for the Crabs here in the home half of the 4th inning. For the Pearls, it's 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Crabs, 1 run on 4 hits and 2 errors. Here's Liam Forsyth, who had a loud, long double off the top of the left field wall in his first plate appearance.
Line drive home runs are pretty rare here.
Yes.
Need the long fly. Big fly.
Blackburn deals. There's a shot to center. Does it have enough? Going back and making the catch at the wall is Tim Ayers. Lost his sunglasses in the process.
Oh, that was a spectacular catch. He misjudged the ball. He took a while to get back there, and then had to make almost a leaping catch. But he did, right up against the center field wall.
Looked to be a little shaken up, shaking that arm off.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll stay in the game. So brings up Jacob Pappas, Fresno State product. First pitch to that right-hander is line drive into left field, base hit. Pappas with a big turn at first, but stays put and did have an at-bat in the regional, the UCLA regional in the College World Series. Did Pappas a pinch hit appearance in game 2. Fortunately for his Bulldogs, they were bounced after the second game. That'll bring up the center fielder, Timmy Reed. Left-handed hitting Reed with Pappas at first. Showing bunt, gets it down the third
Beautiful,
base
beautiful.
line. Barehanded and no throw at first. Timmy Reed laid it down beautifully.
Gorgeous bunt. And smart play by the third baseman. Rather than try to throw, he had no chance of getting him, and he wisely held on to the ball. But the Crabs now threatening with runners at first and second. One down here in the bottom of the fourth. They're trying to come back from the visitors tying it in the top of the frame.
The Pearls able to convert one run in the top of the fourth. Crabs with a similar scoring opportunity here. First pitch to McNeil is lined into left and will get down for a hit. Giacomini waving around the runner at third. Here comes the throw. Pappas slides in, and the Crabs lead 2-1. Pappas comes to score all the way around from second. Holding at second is Timmy Reed, and McNeil aboard with an RBI single. So 3 hits in a row for the Crabs in the bottom of the fourth. Bats starting to heat up.
Both pitchers maybe tiring a bit.
Some action going down in the Pearls bullpen as well. So both teams getting an arm loose. Here's the right-handed hitting former Eureka High logger, Parker Rogers. First pitch to Rogers, a chopper to first base. Goes to second for 2. Second for 1, I should say, and that's all they're going to get on the fielder's choice.
Good play by the first baseman. He could have easily registered the out at first, taken the ball to the bag himself, but instead went for the runner at first. So now they got runners on first and third rather than second and third. It keeps the double play option. And oh, no double play. There's 2 outs, but still. Chance of force at second.
Short lead, Rogers being held on at first. Reed the runner at third. The leadoff man, Perazo, swings and skies one down the left field side, giving chase to the third baseman, but it will be out of play into the left field picnic area. So long strike for Perazo. Perazo 1 for 2 so far this evening. A single and a strikeout. An opportunity to give the Crabs a little bit of cushion here with the base hit. No balls, 1 strike. Rogers not great speed at first. Breaking pitch misses away for a ball. 1-1.
You say he does not have great speed at
first?
first?
No, does not have great speed. And that's a situation with less than 2 outs. Granted, 2 outs here. Crabs have tried multiple times this season sending the runner at first to draw that throw. Unlikely with 2 away.
Right.
Lefty on lefty, and the throw to first. Rogers was going, and they've got him in a rundown. And tagging out Rogers at second, and Reed does not make it home in time. So Perazo will be due up in the 5th. However, the Crabs get a run on 3 hits, headed to the 5th. Crabs on top, 2-1 here on ESPN 107.3. On to the 5th inning. Crabs on top of the Pearls, 2-1, alongside the one, the only, the legendary Hokolkom. I'm Mitchell Manji. Benjamin Schaefer also on the broadcast. Liam Warner, as always, manning the booth here at the Arcata Ballpark. Crabs Baseball brought to you by Cypress Grove Cheese. Cypress Grove is the leading producer of delicious artisan goat cheese, including Humboldt Fog, one of the most famous cheeses in the country. Proudly based in Arcata, California, Cypress Grove cheeses are available at cheese shops and grocery stores nationwide and online at cypressgrovecheese.com. There's nothing like that Humboldt Fog feeling. Crabs Baseball also brought to you by Charleston Tree Service. We're here to help you with our growing concerns. Our locally owned and operated family business has served homeowners and commercial property owners throughout Humboldt County since 2007. Also in part by Compass Community Credit Union. Hey Crabs fans, team sponsor Compass Community Credit Union is happy to point you toward a better banking experience. Visit their conveniently located branches in Arcata and Eureka or online at compassccu.org. That's compassccu.org. New pitcher on the mound for the Crabs is the right-hander College of the Redwood product, Brock Lenhart, making his second appearance of the season. Lenhart, righty on righty is Ramirez, the 9-hole hitter. Up for the Pearls. First pitch is skied up on the infield. And it's going to be the first baseman, Forsyth.
Streaking across the diamond.
Flying over. How many times do you see the first baseman call off the shortstop?
Right. But he had a beat on it. No question he was on it.
And so Ramirez is retired. Here's the top of the order.
Lenhart only had one inning pitch before coming in here. Did not allow a run. Struck out a couple of batters.
First pitch to Blake is low for a ball. I'm sure Lenhart would like to keep that going. Also working out of the stretch. Took over for the starter Brody Jacobs after 4 innings of work. That's a chopper foul down the first baseline.
Old school thinking was that when you worked from the stretch, you lost a little bit off of your fastball, but it hasn't proved out. I mean, these guys are throwing 100 miles an hour from the stretch, essentially.
Pitch is a breaking ball, skied on the left side, but out of play. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Blake. And there's been so much advancement in the baseball world with the pitching, the arm mechanics, tracking all sorts of, I know driveline baseball is one that's been huge on that front, but as you mentioned, you know, trying to get this, watching spin rate on pitches and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So 1 away. Top of the 5th, Crabs lead 2-1. Pitch from Leonard is off the plate for a ball, 2-2.
There was a pitcher by the name of Bob Feller, who was known as Rapid Robert, and he threw 100 miles an hour. Well, shoot, teams now have 3 pitchers who throw 100 miles an hour. And
he was a starter.
Oh, yeah. Pitcher.
That pitch rings up Blake. Fastball right down the heart of the plate and frozen.
I mean, pitchers would pitch 10 complete games in a season. You're lucky if a team has 5 complete games for the entire staff nowadays. It's, you know, it's a very different game. You pitch 6 innings and, hey, you're doing great. And bullpen will take over.
And the guys who were throwing 100 miles an hour are pitching 1 complete inning.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let it all hang out. Why not?
So here's Eli Hancock, the left fielder, shows bunt, drops it down right in front of the plate. Sora's up with it, throw to first, and a 1-2-3 top of the 5th for Lenhart out of the bullpen. Crabs on top, 2-1, headed to the bottom of the 5th here on ESPN 107.3. On to the home half of the fifth. Crabs on top of the Pearls, 2-1. Crabs baseball brought to you by North Coast Co-op, as well as North Coast Mercantile, family-owned and operated, serving Humboldt County since 1951. North Coast Mercantile brings you a fantastic assortment of domestic import craft beers, as well as wine, spirits, non-alcoholic beverages, and snacks. Check out North Coast Mercantile's tightest trailer in the right field beer garden of the Arcata Ballpark. 8 taps featuring local microbrews, wine, and cider.
Little surprised that Connor Blackburn's out for the 5th inning. He was hit pretty hard last frame. They do have a right-hander in their bullpen warming up, but we'll see how long he lasts here in the 5th.
So here's Michael Perazzo. He was at the plate at the end of the inning. Shows bunt, pulls back, takes a ball off the plate. I want to know the count. That pitch came in at 64 miles per hour. Really pumped the brakes out there when he wants to.
Yeah.
The 1-0. Another breaking ball fouled.
Fans, last call, 50-50.
1-1.
Last call, get your 50-50 tickets.
And if you could throw a breaking ball at 64 miles an hour, if you can hit 80 to 82 on your fastball, I mean, it feels much quicker than that.
Absolutely.
So bottom of the 5th, Crabs on top, 2-1. Blackburn out of the windup. And a slider looked like inside part of the plate. Almost hit Perazzo, but just a ball. 2-1. Lefty on lefty battle. The pitch. Fouled away down the left field side. Count evens at 2 apiece. Perazzo not with the Crabs on opening weekend, but since he's joined the team, has been one of the better hitters. And I don't know how it shows in the stats, but just in terms of the eye test with the hard hit balls.
Mm-hmm. Barreling it up, and there's another
2-2,
one.
smokes one, right center field into the gap. Perazzo rounding first. Airs the center fielder up with it quickly, and Perazzo puts the brakes on. It'll be a long single.
Center fielder has a pretty good arm. That ball came back into the infield with speed and quickly, and wisely staying at first base is Perazzo.
And the location of where that ball dropped in between, 9 times out of 10, that's
looks like a double. Yeah. And as we suggested, that may be it for Connor Blackburn. Manager coming out, and I think we've got a right-hander coming in from the bullpen.
Nothing to shake your head at if you're Connor Blackburn. I mean, 4 and change, give up 2
8
runs.
hits, but only 2 runs.
Exactly.
And he got out of some tough jabs. You know, it's tough. I mean, he had a decent fastball, but he had a pretty wicked change and slow curveball. You can get away with a lot if you can spot those pitches. I remember there was a pitcher for the Giants back in the day, a guy named Stu Miller, and he had 3 pitches: slow, slower, and slowest. But he was an effective reliever.
Well, this will date me, but the pitcher that I remember on the Giants was Barry Zito when he came over from the A's. And he didn't have the same life to the fastball, and he really revamped himself as a pitcher. And it was the off-speed, the location, and his control of the game on the mound.
Yeah, he did well late in his career.
So the new pitcher for the Stockton Pearls will be number 22, Jacob Cobran, and warming up his fastball, hitting 89 miles an hour. So we go from the soft speeds of breaking balls at 64 to now a life and fastball at 89. I mean, it's a big change.
Gonna bring it. Let's see. Well, we got the top of our order coming up, don't we, here?
Yep, so to the number 2 hitter, Cabana Soares.
Come on up, yeah.
With leadoff man Michael Perazzo will be at first after his long single. And the Crabs, this has been, the name of the game is hold on, keep it close for the first 5, and then they really start to lay it on thick in the late innings.
Well, historically, teams would come in here and they could give us a battle in game 1 and maybe hang in there in game 2, but by game 3, they didn't have the pitching to compete. And the third game would generally be a Crab rout. Now you're playing some tougher teams these days. You're going on the road against some very, very fine competition. I'm talking about teams that were not that talented, let's put it that way.
So here's Suarez. Peraza the runner at first, nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. Crabs on top 2-1. Runner goes, pitch off the plate. The throw down to second, not in time. Peraza diving in head first, swipes second. I was having a conversation with Coach Giacconi, and I brought that up to him because that was the opening series. It was a 1-run game Friday, 1-run game Saturday, 10-run game on Sunday.
Yeah.
And he said, that's 81 years of Crabs baseball. He goes, play them close the first 2 games, let them run out of pitches and beat the something out of them.
Yeah. That's true.
The ball a little off the plate, called for a strike, evens at 1-1. Runner at second, Peraza, with nobody out. Pitch to Suarez. Same spot off the plate, same result, strike 2.
89 miles an hour. That's a heater. That's a heater.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes. The right-hander, Jacob Cobrange, first batter he's faced out of the pen. Pitch low and away, 2-2. Suarez 0 for 2 tonight. Flied out to right and is struck out. For a different result here. 2-2, swung on and missed.
One improvement that's been made to the benefit of the batters, it seems to me, is that screen out in center field,
Yes.
which gives the batter a better view of the white pelota coming in at him.
A true batter's eye in
Do
center.
you know when that was put in center field?
I don't know when that screen was put in.
Our research department over here lacking a little bit.
Yeah,
They had
we're
no
gonna-
answers.
Yeah, let's,
Remember it being put in? Yeah.
First pitch fouled. Or is he going to hang in play? The
Fair.
catch not made. That's a fair ball. Sewell. Here comes Peraza round in third. He'll score. And a double down the
Absolutely.
line. It looked foul off the bat and just hung up in the air long enough for Hancock, the left fielder, to run on over and track it down and just off the heel of his glove.
it was fading, but it was able to remain fair. A nice effort by the left fielder, but unable to come up with it, and the Crabs get an insurance run.
So 3-1 now the score. Crabs has scored in the 2nd, 4th, and now 5th innings. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Sutter Moss. Moss could be a boom or bust player at the plate. He's got a lot of power, but he strikes out a lot as well. 1 away, first pitch. Oh, it's hammered, but foul. So 1 away, runner at second is Sewell. Crabs on top 3-1. They have out-hit the Pearls 9-1, yet just a 2-run lead. Pitch from Cobran. Low and away for a ball, 1-1. And Jeff Jackman, he's still giving the signs at third as third base coach, normal third base coach, John Bryan is at first. He's got his arm in a sling. He had a shoulder or upper arm injury, so 1-1 is in the dirt now. 2-1.
Little tough to wave the run around.
Tough to wave the runner. He gets some assistance even grabbing the equipment at first base. He's only got the one arm, so.
Yeah, it's tough. Lights are on.
Coburn comes set. Runner goes for third. Pitch is fouled. Straight back.
Again, a great jump by the runner on second base.
And Sewell's got to jog the 90 feet back. Moss took a big swing at that one. It was a fastball, 89 miles an hour. Coburn comes set. Pitches a chopper, foul. And catcher Hendricks kind of let that one hang for a second. He was on the lip of the grass, and it just, I'm not sure if it's by landscaping or design, but it seems that the lip on the grass has gotten
Higher?
a bit higher and higher, yeah.
Yeah, it looks higher from here.
We had
It looks higher down the first base line than down the third base line.
a player on the visiting team turn his ankle
Oh, really?
trying to round first on a home run, actually, is a swing and a miss. Moss dropping to a knee, comes up empty for out number 2.
So they ran out, and so I placed an order with Strapper's Edge, and they saw
It was the Novato Knicks, and he hit a home run onto the freeway over the 343 sign. It was taking, his victory lap, and
Right.
all of a sudden he's slowing down going to second. I went back and rewatched the broadcast, and right where the coach's box, the inset comes out there, he turned his ankle on the inside rounding first and didn't play on Saturday as a result.
Tough way to get an injury on a home run, huh?
So here's Liam Forsythe with 2 away and a runner at second. Pitch misses, low and away on a breaking ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Forsythe has flown out to center and doubled off the wall and left, both hard hit balls.
the hitter down there is like, oh, well, okay, I guess I'll.
Coburn now steps off. Wind blowing gently out to left center, and still blue skies above us for a day that was cloudy in Arcata most of the workday. The 1-0.
Yeah, we went out and visited the Magic Marsh today. It's so special.
Sounds like a much better option.
Sun, fog, I don't care. That place is just wonderful.
Great place for a stroll. Did you do any bird watching?
Yeah, my wife is an avid birder, and we have done bird watching. Took a field course in bird watching and all that kind of stuff. But now it's pretty much at home. We've got feeders for the hummers and a bird bath for birds come and bathe in our bird bath. We like to see that. All size birds.
Last pitch was off the plate for a called strike 1-2. That pitch is fouled out of play.
Do they still have Godwood days here?
Yes. Godwood days.
That's
happens,
great for
yeah.
birders. Birders from all over come into Arcata for that.
And it's great. And I remember in middle school they'd do the pictures and enter them and submit the drawings. So they really do engage the community.
Yep.
It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here to Liam Forsythe. Pitch, swing, and a miss. Inside.
Took something off of that. He's been throwing the heat and got him on an off-speed pitch.
So Forsythe goes down swinging, but not before the Crabs get one back. They lead it now 3-1. On to the 6th inning. You're listening to Crabs Baseball on ESPN 107.3. On to the 6th inning here at the Arcata Ballpark. Crabs on top 3-1. Crabs baseball brought to you by the North Coast Co-op, as well as North Coast Mercantile, family owned and operated, serving Humboldt County since 1951. North Coast Mercantile brings you a fantastic assortment of domestic, import, and craft beers, as well as wine, spirits, non-alcoholic beverages, and snacks. Check out North Coast Mercantile's Titus trailer in the right field beer garden of the Arcata Ballpark. 8 taps featuring local microbrews, wine, and cider.
The way the booth is configured these days, you get the sound of the ball game. I remember there would be times when we were enclosed. It was like we were broadcasting a game in a museum because you never heard the crowd.
Yeah, we're a lot closer now.
Yeah, this is wonderful.
There's good and bad to that. That's true.
It'll be 3-4-5 as a chopper down the third baseline is foul to Velo. Caleb Velo, the first baseman, 0 for 2 so far tonight. Brock Leonard, his second inning of work on the mound for the Crabs. Leonard working out of the stretch, the 0-1. Breaking ball, misses. 1-1. Pitch looked slow, and it was 66 miles per hour. College of the Redwoods product took something off of that one. Took a lot off of that one. 1-1. Fouled off toward the plaza, out of play. It'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes. A couple things have changed around the ballpark since obviously we talked about the front, but now you've got the campus bookstore over here in the old Bank of America building, and
right. Makes parking a little easier.
that's true.
Yeah, I think there are more spaces than there were at bank time.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch is a rocket. Foul.
Just foul.
Even the umpire, Michael Cowan, over at first had to bail out of the way. It's a 91 miles per hour off the bat of Velo. Fitting last name, if you pronounce it Velo.
Velo.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Leonard at the belt and deals. Across the plate, but low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Leonard gets the sign from Suarez. And pitches. That's a line drive for a single right back up the middle. Couple of hops to the center fielder, Reed.
Their second hit of the ball game.
If you're with the Pearls, I mean, you got to be happy to be only down 2 runs if
Absolutely.
it's your second hit. So Velo standing at first.
Designated hitter.
Held on by Forsyth. First pitch is low, but a called strike to Webb, the designated hitter. Spencer Webb, a left-handed hitter. The 0-1. Low again. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Crabs on top 3-1 here in the top of the 6th. Alongside Hoke Holcomb and the Professor Benjamin Schaefer, Mitchell Monge bringing you all the action. As Lenhard, the 1-1 is a shot foul on the left field side. So here in the 6th, the Pearls put some good wood on the baseball, but unable to get it fair territory aside from Velo. One ball, 2 strikes. Leonard a glance over towards Velo at first, who's got a very short lead. Off-speed pitch, misses low, 2-2. Again, in the mid-60s on the off-speed stuff. Leonard set. Comes home, and that pitch is fouled again, out of play. We'll rewind the tape and do it again.
There you go. Not too often that you see a pitcher wearing glasses.
No.
And Linhart is one.
So nobody out, runner at first. Crabs up 2 here in the 6th. The pitch is a rocket to second. Rogers to second for 1, onto first, not in time. So Webb reaches base with a fielder's choice.
The Angels once had a pitcher, a guy named Ryan Dern, and he had glasses thick as Coke bottles, right? And he threw like 95 miles an hour. And he would come in relief, and he would always throw his first pitch to the backstop, just wanting to let the batter know he shouldn't dig in too hard.
First pitch to Hendricks. Catches the outside part of the zone. That's a called strike one. The ball hit to that same spot. A little bit harder would be a bonus for the Crabs. A lob throw. Just checking on the runner at first. I haven't done my scouting report on the Pearls, but just visually, I would assume Webb has more speed than Velo over at first.
Yeah, I would think so, just looking at the two of them, and he's going.
There he goes, and a chopper foul. Softly hit to the Crabs dugout. No balls, 2 strikes. So yeah, hard hit ball to either the middle infielders or third base for that matter. Give the Crabs a good shot to get out of this inning.
Yeah, the last ball hit to the second baseman looked like it was going to be hard hit, but it wasn't really that hard. And he didn't have time to get the double play as a result of that. Took a while to get it over to first.
Here's the 0-2 runner goes. Fouled away again. I think that's the second ball we've seen tonight hit on the infield that looked like it was going to be harder or took a weird hop like the one that was hit to Peraza. I think it's because their Pearls aren't using the torpedo bats that the Yankees tried to break out.
I wonder if they're going to bring torpedo bats here. Nothing to prevent it.
Well, I mean, we've got ghost runners at second to start the 10th. We're missing a pitch clock and torpedo bats to complete Benjamin's bingo scorecard over here.
The traditionalist.
The 0-2. Fouled again.
And look who's here. It's Krusty the Crab.
The best part about you tune into the games on YouTube, you can even get to see Krusty making his way behind home plate. As Hendricks is putting up a battle at the plate. Another 0-2. Took something off, struck him out.
No, that's only 2 outs. Lenhart was heading toward the dugout.
Well, it felt. I mean, the Hendricks just kept fouling him off, so.
Felt like he should have gotten 2 outs for that.
You can make me work like that. Hey, I'm done. That'll bring up Aiden Williams. Williams 0 for 2 officially, but reached base in the 4th by way of an error as another throw to first. Webb back in standing. Righty on righty. Lenhart delivers. Strike one. So a little off the plate, but he gets the call. Got a slightly enlarged strike zone tonight.
Well, you can really see it in the booth now where the pitch is.
You don't need binoculars to see the field. The 0-1. Big swing. Comes up empty, and it's now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, top of the 6th. Webb the runner at first. Pitch to Williams.
Strike 3.
Right there.
Blew it by.
Williams goes down looking. So no runs, 1 hit as we head to the home half of the 6th. Crabs on top, 3-1 here on ESPN 107.3. Home half of the 6th here from the Arcata Ballpark. Crabs baseball brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank, strengthening our local communities. Our commitments come to life through our people, programs, and policies. Together, we can make a difference in the communities we serve.
I can't tell you, or you can't see the smile on my face and the joy I have broadcasting this ball game, in part, of course, with my old buddy, the Professor Benjamin Schaefer and Liam Warner. But Mitchell Monge grew up right across the street from me. I first saw Mitchell Monge crawling across my front room carpet at about the age of 1. And I've seen him grow up into a fine young man and a fine broadcaster.
There's a hard hit single to left, and first pitch, Jacob Pappas, he liked it and is aboard with a single.
He crawls up here.
Well, I can assure our listeners that I can walk now, and so that was a big achievement.
Was it? That's good.
Yeah, that was big.
And soon you're going to be out of diapers, I hear, which is
That's
which
next
in
on
itself
the list.
quite
Next
an
on the list,
accomplishment.
yeah.
It's an okay football broadcasting too, I guess.
So that'll bring up Reed, and Pappas going with the first pitch in there, safe. So Jacob Pappas really likes first pitches. A single, and now a stolen base as one pitch was low and away and a ball to Timmy Reed. So Pappas now at second. Showcased his speed. We have speed at the plate with Reed as well. Big swing there, comes up empty, 1-1.
Reed laid down that beautiful bunt, right?
Yes.
Bunt single was it last time?
Yep. In
Yeah.
the fourth,
That was pretty.
2 for 2. He's got an RBI as well in the second. Reed hit leadoff the opening series and is now in a little bit lower in the lineup. That's kind of a product of feeling out your team over the season. Is a big swing and a miss there. Strike 2.
Of course, Robin Guyver is under an obligation to play all the players.
Yes.
You know, coaches aren't going to send players here if they don't get played. So everybody gets a shot. Some will play more than others, obviously, but
Dancing around at second is Pappas, and Coburn steps off to make him go back and touch the base. Shortstop Ramirez for the Pearls right behind Pappas. Should Coburn elect to throw, he comes home, fouled out of play. So Reed battling 1-2. Fouled off that with 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Coburn. Crabs on top 3-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-2 skips in. Ball 2. Bottom of the lineup has been producing the Crabs runs for the most part today. Exception of Sewell, 7, 8, 9 hitters, 2 of the 3 RBIs. Coburn steps off again. No throw to second. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Reed. Pitch stays high. Count runs full. So Crabs with double-digit hits, plus 8 in the hits category, and yet just a 3-1 lead here in the 6th. Payoff pitch rings him up. Strike 3 looking.
that's a wicked pitch. When had he swung, what could he have done with that pitch? That was a well-placed pitch. Inside corner at the letters or a little below.
Best result, a foul ball.
Yep.
So now 1 away. Elijah McNeil to the plate. Fouls that one off towards the Crabs dugout, 0-1. So Crabs sending somebody to warm up in their bullpen. Pearls looks to be a right-hander getting loose as well. The 0-1 off the plate. So we have ones across the scoreboard. Number 1, McNeil. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Pappas the runner at second. Coburn deals high for a ball, 2-1. McNeil's 1 for 2. He has an RBI back in the 4th. Flew out to center in the 2nd. And just recently joined this ball club. His 2nd game, and the runner was going.
They got him.
And not much of a pickle as Pappas picked off a 2nd. And they had been showing the shortstop Ramirez covering the bag, the flashing the whole time. That time they brought the second baseman over.
Right, right.
Eliminated Pappas from the base paths. The 2-1 fouled straight back. So now with 2 outs, the count 2-2 to McNeil.
The only time in Little League, my whole
Rogers, the 9-hole hitter in the on-deck circle. Well, it's not a true circle anymore, but
Yeah, the on-deck area.
yes. 2-2 is in the dirt. Be a full count to McNeil. Now, I remember when, I don't know if you pulled any strings, but submitted my name to be sitting down there, as that young gentleman's doing, being the bat boy
Absolutely.
for the Crabs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sunday game, had the jersey and pants, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
3-2 is a check swing, and they're going to say he went around. No appeal. Home plate umpire rings him up, so McNeil goes down swinging. On to the 7th. Crabs on top 3-1, and Hook, I must say it's been an absolute pleasure.
Mitchell, it's my smile is light. They don't need the lights. My smile could fill the field with light and joy. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and keep it up, baby.
I think
you got it.
You said it the best. I don't have much to add. I think I hope that you know how much I admired you as a broadcaster, listened to you, and here we are calling a game together. Who would have thought?
Well, I just have one last thing to say is, the older I get, the better I was.
Well, that's the funny thing is I think we'll just keep it here, headed to the 7th. But one of the benefits now is you can go back as the broadcaster archived on YouTube and really listen and evaluate the performance. So
that's nice.
Every time I do a broadcast, I get a long letter in the mail from you telling me everything I did wrong, and it's that's the only reason I'm still doing it.
Yeah, everything you did right.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
great being with you, Mitchell.
All right, so we'll go ahead and keep it right here as we're headed to the 7th inning. It'll be the Professor Benjamin Schaefer taking you the rest of the way with the one and only Hoke Holcomb. Crabs on top, 3-1 here at the ballpark.
All right, here we go. Top of the 7th inning. We still got ourselves a ball game. If you look at the hits, it looks like it should be a one-sided affair. Crabs have out-hit the Pearls 10-2, but in the important part, the run category, it's still just 3-1 Crabs as we go into the top of the 7th, and here he is, the voice of the Humboldt
Thank
Crabs,
you,
Benjamin Schaefer.
Thank you. Yeah, Crabs have had a lot of opportunities, but only able to plate 3 runs, which is a testament to the Pearls pitching.
Yeah.
And here's the first pitch to Rogers. No, sorry, this is McCrary leading it off for the Pearl here in the top of the 7th. McCrary's 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs, and he check swing fouls that one away.
Number 7 batter in their order. So the bottom of the order this inning for the Pearls.
0-1, that's a strike on the inside corner, and quickly, Coburn is, it's not Coburn, this is Lenhart is ahead.
Lenhart.
0-2.
Need to put a 0 on the board for the Crabs in the bottom of the 6th.
If I put the headset on and sit over here next to Hope, will you take
the 0-2. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Happy trails.
We'll do it in between innings.
One away.
Photo op,
If that gets posted,
Top of the 6th, Jack.
Pinch hitter.
Number 5.
Thomas Eaton, top of the 7th.
Thomas Eaton.
Pinch hitting for the Pearl, number 5.
Eaton, a right-handed hitter,
In for Ayers.
facing the right-hander Linhart.
1 out, nobody on. Linhart rocks, comes home, and fastball on the outside corner. 0-1.
What do you mean?
0-1. There's another strike
Same
on the
thing.
outsider. Same spot.
That one did catch the corner, but he has a very liberal
The strike
Strike
zone has
zone
been
and-
super wide all week.
Yeah.
I'm convinced someone put some kind of perception altering substance in the water, and the umpires. Next pitch misses away in the umpire's office down there.
Linhart thought he had strike 3. He kind of jumped off the mound
Yeah.
like that was an out, but I thought that missed by a lot.
Well, that's been a strike all night, though. You
Yeah.
see, that's the thing. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Grounder over to third. Scooped up by McNeil. Throw to
Safe.
first, not in time.
Base hit.
He's hit.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's a hit.
So here's Ramirez. He's 0 for 1.
Now is some action. A right-hander beginning to throw in the Crabs bullpen. Can't catch the number from here, but Liam may be able to.
Caden Colbert.
Caden Colbert warming in the bullpen. Here's Ramirez. He's 0 for 1. Runner at first. He's going. The pitch is swung on and missed. A throw down to second is too high. And not Ayers. What's his name?
Thomas Eaton.
Eaton. Steals second. So Eaton is in scoring position now.
I think a better throw, a little lower, might have
Might
got
have had
it.
him. Yeah.
And, you know, it's got a move when you're down 2 to send the runner. Well,
It's true.
he did it.
Trying to get some energy going.
Yep.
0-1 the count. Linhart looks out at second and deals. And there's a fastball on the outside corner, 0-2.
A big, big corner. Look at that pitch, Benjamin.
I'm telling you, somebody put something in the water. Because it was not just tonight, it was last night, the night before. There's some kind of like doors of perception thing happening here. The 0-2 pitch. Misses low and outside. 1-2.
Was that Huxley? The doors of perception?
Yes. 1-2 the count.
I knew it was either Huxley or Jim Morrison.
That's
I wasn't
right.
sure.
Yep. One and 2. Eaton takes his lead. And the pitch. Just got a piece of it and fouls it up against the screen. So the count remains 1-2. Linhart sets, looks out at second, and deals. Took something off, and that misses way outside. That was so far outside, the tracker didn't even catch it. 2-2 the count. Swung on and missed, took something off, and had Ramirez out in front, 2 away. Great pitch.
Now we go to the top of the order. And they would desperately like to get that runner from second home.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big run for them if they could just get within a run.
Sure, 7th inning, right? Yeah. Time's a-wasting.
So here's Blake. He's 0 for 3. The pitch. In the air, left field and deep. Uh-oh. So long.
We got
That's
a tie ball
two-run
game.
home run. And that just tied the ball game, as Hope said.
362 feet.
No doubt about that one.
362 feet, exit speed 94 miles per hour on an 80 mile per hour pitch.
No me gusta. No me gusta.
Again, we're talking about the way you get a home run here is you get it in the air,
That's
you
right,
loft
get
it up.
Yep, get it up. Because you can see the flags on City Hall, which are at a higher elevation than the flag in center field. Those flags are blowing towards left field.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, excellent.
Pitch is a strike at the knees now to Hancock. He's 1 for 3, so a tie ball game. And a banger of a ball game tonight again. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. The high fastball, 0-2.
The Crabs blew out the Novato Knicks in the third match, but other than that, the games have been pretty close, haven't they?
Well, I think we had one game that got out of hand. It was like 14-0 by the end. But most of the time, the thing is, it's typical for the Crabs. The early innings are close, and then usually there's some point in the game where the Crabs kind of break it open, usually the 7th or 8th inning. But we had a lot of good close games, yeah, in general, otherwise. Count remains 0-2 to Hancock. Here's the pitch. Oh, called strike 3 at the knees. Happy trails. That ends the inning. But the Pearls get 2 runs on the home run by Blake, and we have a tie ball game. This is exciting. Crabs baseball, 107.3 FM.
He's better than I ever was, I'll tell you.
He's still crawling sometimes, but he's older.
We are back. Bottom of the 7th inning, tied at 3. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Pearls. 3 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Crabs. And a great ball game.
Nice of you to order this one for me,
I was going to say,
Benjamin.
you picked a good one to come back to.
Absolutely.
It'll be Rogers, Perazzo, and Soares for the Crabs. Rogers is the 9 hitter.
Top of the order to try and get that lead back.
Rogers is a 9 and then back to the top. Rogers is 0 for 2. Hit into a fielder's choice a couple of times so far tonight. Now the catcher out to have a word.
Coburn's been tough since coming on in relief.
He has. He's struck out 5 batters of the 7 he's seen. It's great to have good competition again. Like right after COVID, that one season after COVID, there were just not very many teams to play.
Yeah.
And so most of the teams coming in here were not very good. And that season was fun, but the games were not close most of the time. And but since then, we've had a lot of really good competition coming into the park, and it really makes for much better baseball.
This league looks like a good league to be in.
I think it is, yeah. There's a fastball down low, 1-0 now to Rogers. It's a 1-0.
Goodness gracious sakes alive.
Strike on the outside corner. The 1-1.
It's a
is
great
low and outside.
basketball coach John Wooden used to say when he would be ticked off at a call, he'd use a profanity like, goodness gracious. And if he was really ticked, it would be, goodness gracious sakes alive.
2-1. There's a fastball on the outside corner, and the count goes even. That one's in the dirt.
Cal Poly's in Division II, isn't it, Mitchell? Two? Yeah.
Full count. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Blew a fastball by him. 88 miles an hour. 1 away. Back to the top of the order. Here's Peraza. He's 2 for 3 tonight.
Now batting for the Humboldt Crabs, number 15, Michael Peraza.
So now we're at the top of the order.
That's right. And the first pitch fouled out of play out under the bus station. Now 6 strikeouts now for Coburn. He's only faced 8 hitters. The 0-1. Oh, nasty breaking pitch, backdoor slider. Oh, and 2. Next
You're out.
pitch is just
No?
low.
Oh. Now, I'm looking
1
at
and
that.
2.
I'm looking at your chart there, and that pitch wasn't that low, was it? I
You
thought
know,
it was
from
close.
up here, we've noticed since we installed it that our perspective is not that great from up here as far as the strike zone goes. Stuff that looks like it's down the middle is low or high, and I'm assuming the tracker's correct. Next pitch is high, 2 and 2. But I know it didn't look that low. There's a pitch outside, 3 and 2. See, that's been a strike all night, that pitch. But
Yeah.
I guess it was high.
That was high.
So full count to Peraza, 1 out, nobody on. In the bottom of the 7th, and the pitch. Swing and a foul tip, and the catcher just unable to hold on to it, so Peraza will live to see another pitch. Yeah, this Coburn
think-
throws pretty hard, 88, that pass ball.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you going to say? 3-2, swung on and missed, another backdoor slider.
Well, what I was going to say, Benjamin, is that I thought I just heard you say, and we have it on tape, that the view from up here of the strike zone isn't that good.
No.
Do you want to send out apologies to all the times you've yelled at the umpires for bad calls?
No, as Mitchell asked about this the other night, I believe it was Mitchell or Liam, and I made the point that it's not about the truth of the call.
Oh. Well, that fits with the current zeitgeist in the country. Who
That's
cares
right.
about the facts?
Truth's irrelevant.
Yeah, right.
The pitch is low. 1-0. Next pitch misses outside.
Come on, get it started. Get on now.
Yeah, who needs facts?
I'm containing myself.
Yes. 1-0 the count. Fastball misses outside, 2-0. And a 2-0 is a strike on the inside corner. I guess the count was 3-0. I think the count is 3-1 now.
Yes,
And,
it is 3-1.
Soros thought he had the walk. The 3-1. Hammered down the left field line. That's going to go off the base of the wall. On his way to second is Soros. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. A double. for Cavanosaurus.
99.
99 miles an hour off the bat, Benjamin, on an 87-mile-an-hour
Yeah, he
fastball.
smoked that pitch. So here's Sewell. He's 1 for 2 with a double. So Krabs with an opportunity to regain the lead here in the bottom of the 7th with the go-ahead run out at second. 2 are out, though. Coburn looks at second and deals, and that's fouled up against screen. Just missed it, Hope.
They don't do a 7th inning sing-along or anything with the Crabgrass band's not here, huh? I didn't see
They
it.
did one. You guys were taking pictures.
Oh, okay.
0-1 count.
The
next
stands
pitch
have
is
come alive.
in the dirt all the way to the backstop, and that's going to allow Source to go to third. So now they go ahead and run 90 feet away.
That's such a wild pitch.
And the count, 1-1. One pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-2. And now, I bet Sewell's going to see that backdoor slider, Hope.
You calling it, huh? Backdoor slider?
That's been his out pitch this inning so far.
Okay.
It's how he got both Peraza and Rogers, and that was the slider, I think, but it was inside, and he just lashed it foul into the picnic area down the right field line.
Yeah, that slider was right into his wheelhouse.
He missed it with it. Coburn's going to be happy to have that back. 1-2 the count. And the pitch.
Foul.
Hit in the air down the right field line, but well foul. Just sort of gulped it out there.
Well, the crowd's louder than it's been all evening. He's
Yeah, the
rocking.
crowd's gotten into it. Last night, they were really into the game. They
Yeah.
were super loud last night. It was great. The whole game, too. The band was here. 1-2 the count. Runner at third. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, got in. 8th strikeout in relief
Brought
for
the heater.
Coburn.
Brought the heater.
And that ends the inning. For the Crabs, no runs. There was a hit. There were no errors and a runner left. Coburn strikes out the side. And at the end of 8, we're still tied at 3. This is exciting. Crabs Baseball 107.3 FM.
King Cobra. Okay.
New pitcher on the mound for the Crabs to start the top of the 8th, Caden Kohlberg, in relief of Brock Lenhart.
He's new. He's new.
This is his first appearance. It's not his first
No.
appearance, though. No.
That's why we mentioned him.
Here he is.
Yeah,
This is his 4th appearance.
that's what I thought, yeah.
He's pitched 4 innings, given up 1 earned run, struck out 7 and walked 6. So he's got good stuff, but maybe had a little trouble with command.
Yeah. The batters will be Velo, Webb, and Hendricks, the heart of the order for the Pearls.
Absolutely. This is a big inning for the Crabs.
That's right. Tied at 3. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Pearls. 3 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for the Crabs. And the Crabs have struck out in this game 12 times. Is that right, Mitchell? I think it's 12. So.
Well, the reliever, that fellow who is throwing BBs.
Coburn, he's been great. He's been great. All right, so the third pitcher of the night for the Crabs. Here's Velo. He's 1 for 3.
I remember one of the fastest pitchers we ever saw was a reliever. I don't recall his last name, but we called him Lights Out.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Lights Out? And he was from Washington, I think.
Olmsted.
He was Lights Out.
He was. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside, 1-0. One year, I think it was the year you hurt your back.
Yeah.
It was that 1 year where you were kind of here and not, but we had a pitcher that year who I think struck out 25 batters one night.
25?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he just was blowing it by people. It was incredible. 2-0. I forget his name now. Or some huge number. I mean, he just blew everybody away that night. He threw hard all season. 2-0 is a high bounder out to short. Throw to first and one away.
Big out. Big out to get Velo.
Here's Webb. He's 0 for 3.
Now batting for the Pearls, number 24, Spencer Webb.
Colbello?
Kohlberg.
Kohlberg.
Yeah.
He's thrown in the 90s.
91, that one. Yeah. Blew a fastball right by Webb. 0-1. Grounder right back to the mound. A little tapper. Kohlberg has it. 2 away. Here's Hendricks. He's 0 for 1. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters only have 1 hit among them tonight for the Pearl. Of course, Pearl only have 4 hits total.
Right.
And yet, that's what power does for you, right?
One swing of the bat and
That's
it was
right.
tied.
Fastball outside, 1-0. Looks like the police have pulled someone over on the highway. Out in left field.
Oh, yeah.
1-0 pitch. This is high. No, it's a car that's stalled out up there. Yeah. 2-0 the count. Grounder right back to the mound. He bobbles. Nice play. Inning over. 1, 2, 3. Go the Pearls in the 8th. We're still tied at 3. This is Crabs Baseball, 107.3 FM. We are back. New pitcher on the mound for the Pearls, and I'm sure the Crabs are happy about that. Lorenzo Liu, number 10.
Yeah, they're happy to see Mr. Coburn go.
Yeah.
How many did he strike out? Eight or
I
nine?
think. 8. He struck out 8.
Did not allow a run.
Did not run and gave up 2 hits, and that was it. So now Lou takes over, tied at 3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. So
Who we got coming up?
Moss, Forsythe, and Pappas.
Okay.
For the Crabs, the heart of the order.
4, 5, and 6.
Moss is 0 for 3 tonight. Forsythe has a double, and Pappas is 2 for 3. So tied at 3.
If you joined us late, Crabs broke out first, the first blood of the game. Got a run in the second inning. Pearls tied it in the top of the 4th, made it 1-1. Crabs came back in the bottom of the frame to make it 2-1, and then added one in the 5th, 3-1 going into the 7th inning. And a big 2-run home run tied it up, and that's where we stand now as we go into the bottom of the 8th, 3 apiece. For all the action, here's Benjamin.
Thank you, Hoke. Moss, Forsythe, and Pappas.
Some people ask, is Benjamin a real professor? And the answer is, well, he teaches philosophy.
That counts. I'm not sure that really.
I think that
Pitch
counts.
misses outside, 1-0.
Benjamin's favorite philosopher is a 20th century, very controversial philosopher. And I think
This is high, 2-0.
I think you need a graduate degree just to pronounce his name. Pronounce his name for us.
Oh, you may be talking about Wittgenstein.
Yeah,
2-0.
Wittgenstein.
Ludwig Wittgenstein.
Wittgenstein.
This is inside, 3-0. 3-0 pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. 3-1. In the dirt. And so Moss walks. That's great. To lead off the bottom of the 8th. Cavs will take that. And here's Forsythe. He doubled in 3 trips. And here comes the coach to the mound. There's nobody warming in the Pearls bullpen, so this is just a conversation. Pearls clawed their way back into the game, so. Be a terrible shame if they ended up losing after all.
I know it would break your heart, Benjamin. Do we know much about Forsythe as a possibility that he would bunt in this situation?
I haven't seen him bunt this year. I don't know. He's more of a power hitter.
He is a power hitter.
Yeah.
Well, he's batting 5th, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So, probably not. In fact, his stats are over there. I think under that. So here we go. Moss over at first. And I don't think Moss steals often, so. Although all the Crabs are aggressive on the bases. They throw behind the runner, and he's back in time. Pitch is high.
Forsythe came into this game, Benjamin, 9 for 19.
Yeah.
Among those hits was a double. No long flies.
Moss, short lead over at first. Lou rocks and comes home, and that pitch is high. 2-0.
Third base coach flashing some signs.
Lou a long look in. Now he sets and deals. Fouled out of play.
Sponsored by Haywood Golf and Country Club.
Two and one. Tied at 3, the bottom of the 8th. And the pitch. Rides high with a fastball, 3-1. Lou does not throw as hard as Coburn. did. That fastball was 79.
Got a hitter's count now, 3-1.
From the belt. The pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Good pitch. Just caught the black. And the count goes full now to Forsyth. Pappas on deck.
So you don't have this runner going. It's not fast enough to run.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Three and two. The pitch. Popped in the air. Foul territory, and it's the pitcher making the catch over halfway up the first base line. That's a tough out.
Catcher was there, first baseman was there, and the pitcher said, "I'll take it myself."
Do it
and
yourself, man. You want something done. One away.
I noticed something else at this ballpark that was absent for many, many years, Benjamin, as I look out on the mound.
Yes, it is.
We have a rosin bag.
We
finally.
have a rosin bag. Remember, we even bought a rosin bag.
Yeah, we bought a rosin bag, and they didn't want it. No,
They didn't
Shorty
use
said, "We're not going to use that."
No. Now they got one. 3-2. Sorry, this is a new batter.
You better. One ball.
Pitch is low, 1-0 to Pappas. He's 2 for 3. Next pitch is waved at and missed. That was a nasty breaking pitch, low and away.
Infield deep all the way around.
1-1. And now the runner's going. The pitch is in the dirt. No throw down the second. So Moss has it stolen. Hendricks couldn't get a hold of the ball.
Someone who doesn't necessarily have great speed at first, but did get a
Huge
great
jump.
jump.
Yeah. He was halfway to
Yeah.
second by the time the pitch came. And that was popped into center field. That's going to drop, and that's going to score the run. Moss coming around third. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. Throw to the plate. Not in time. Crabs lead it 4-3. RBI single for Pappas, his third hit of the night.
That's an RBI single by Jacob Papa.
Didn't hit it hard, just hard enough to get the run in. Crabs will take it.
Well, a great job by Liam Forsyth. That steal of second base set up the base hit to bring in the go-ahead run.
Yeah, that was Moss, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Moss.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He had a huge jump, and I mean, that was the difference, right? And throw it to first. Because if he's not at second, he doesn't score on that.
Right.
So here's Reed. He's 2 for 3. And he takes a pitch right down the middle for a called strike. Oh, and 1.
CHP was like,
Fouled over towards the left field picnic area and out of play. So 0-2 now to Reed. McNeil on deck. 1 out, a run is in. Runner at first. Crabs have taken a 4-3 lead. Lou sets. Runner's going. The pitch is swung on and missed. A throw down to second, and he's a dead duck.
Strikeout, double play to end the inning, but it may be too late for the Pearls as the Crabs come up with a run to put them ahead 4-3 as we head into the 9th inning.
All right, this is Crabs Baseball, 107.3 FM. We are back, top of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Pearls. Crabs leading it by a run. 4 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Crabs. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Pearls. We're going to have a pinch hitter for Williams. This is Tyler Williams, batting for Anthony Williams. Or Andrew Williams. Left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch from Kohlberg, and it's a fastball away, 1-0. Crabs looking to go 9-0 on the young season. 1-0.
Crabs will be off tomorrow night, and then the weekend series with the Athletic Express.
The Athletic Express.
3 games.
TV off is great.
2-0 is high again. It's 3-0. Not what we're looking for here in the 9th inning.
No, absolutely. I don't want to put the tying run on with a walk to start the inning. That's not in the game plan.
3-0. Kohlberg at the belt. Deals.
Right down
Strike
the heart of
on
the plate.
inside corner. 3-1.
You had on the inside corner, and I had it down the heart of the plate, but it looks like you had it right.
Like I told you, it's a little bit hard to see from up here. 3-1. That missed high, so the tying run is aboard. No me gusta. Here's McCrary. He's 0 for 3. I bet he's bunting. Crabs don't seem to think so.
He's squaring.
He's squaring. Now McNeil coming in. The pitch is a strike.
Whoa!
On the outside corner. The outside corner of the right-handed hitter's batting box.
Yeah.
0-1. Shows bunt again, and the pitch is high. 1-1.
Elijah McNeil is
in on the grass.
in on the grass. He's not squaring this time. Now he does.
There he goes.
Strike 2 call.
That is a strike at the knees.
If you're going to bunt, I don't know that you could have got a better pitch than that.
And now he's got 2 strikes. So that's the end of that. Probably. 1-2. Kohlberg deals. Oh, just got a piece of it and fouled it up against the screen. Just missed that pitch. Got a right-hander warming in the pen for the Crabs. No action in the Pearls bullpen. 1-2 the count. Williams over at first. Short lead. Now a little more. And the pitch. Check swing. He went round. Adios. 1 away.
Batter didn't like it, but it did catch the top of the zone that time.
I think he went around anyway.
Did he? Yeah. I don't know if he did, but it was a strike anyway.
Here's Eaton. Came in as a pinch hitter and singled in the 7th inning. Runner still over at first. 1 out now. Here's the pitch. And that's a strike. Letter high. 89-mile-an-hour fastball from Kohlberg. 0-1. 0-1. That was too high. 1-1. Swung on and missed. Tried to hold up and couldn't do it. 1-2 now to Eaton. Or Eaton. I guess it's Eaton. It's spelled I-T-E-N.
Eaton. Eaton.
1-2. Swung on and missed. Blew a fastball by him. 2 away. Pearls down to their last out. It'll be Ramirez, the 9-hitter, 0 for 2. What a thrilling ball game, Hope.
This has been an outstanding, outstanding ball game. One out away from 9 in a row, and now looks like they're going to be calling the batter back and sending up a pinch hitter.
Send up a pinch hitter, that's right. Number 9, Caleb Cesares.
Caleb Cesares.
Pinch hitting for the Pearls. Number 9, Caleb Cesares.
Cesares started last night's game, I believe, and he was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Four, 3 Crabs. Pearls are down to their last out. And the pitch. Grounder to short. Scooped out and he kicks it. And everybody's going to be safe. Error on Peraza.
Third error of the ball game, and that could have been a game ender.
It was hit in the hole. Peraza over to get it. It just kicked off the heel of his glove.
All right, fans, it's
And so now the tying run in scoring position for the number 1 hitter, Blake. What did Blake do tonight so far, Hope?
Pardon?
I said Blake's the hitter, and what's he done so far tonight?
I don't know. You got the scorebook.
He's hovering.
Oh, he's the one who hit the long fly.
That's right.
Well, he tied it up once.
Yeah, chance to win it here. He does that again.
A base hit will probably tie it.
There are 2 outs. Pearls refusing
To go gently into
to go
the night.
gently. Yes. Here we go. Blake's 1 for 3. It's the home run. And the pitch. Fastball in there at the knees for a called strike. 0-1.
90-mile-an-hour heat on the outside corner.
The 0-1. Oh, just misses low. 1-1. Williams out at second. Cesares at first. 1-1 the count to Blake. A look out at second. Colbert deals, and he pops that down the right field line. That's going to tie the game at least. All the way to the wall. Here comes the runner to score. They're going to hold the runner at third. And we have a tie ball game, Hope.
For the second time this evening.
Blake comes through to tie the game.
A 2-run homer to tie it earlier, and a 2-out single to tie it here in the top of the 9th inning, and the Pearls now with runners at second and third and 2 down.
Wow.
Whoa.
He just laced that right down the right field line all the way to the wall. No chance for Sutter Moss to get to it. And then here's Hancock. He's 1 for 4. Here's the pitch. Fastball high and inside. Runners on second and third.
And of course, this is an unearned run. Ball game should be over.
The ball game should be over. Here's the 1-0. I guess it's high.
High, 2-0.
2-0. Okay.
Where is this?
It was high by the radar gun. 2-0. Is a strike on the inside corner. Great pitch right on the corner. 2-1 now to Hancock. Cesares at third, Blake at second. The 2-1. Hammered foul off the judo hut. Wow, he just tomahawked that pitch. Man. But it's just a strike. 2-2 the count.
2-2, Jack.
And the pitch. And that one kicks away. Here comes the runner home, and The Pearls are going to take the lead on the pass ball. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay.
Right, if we do end up
Blake goes to third on the play.
say by Jason
4-3 Pearl, 5-4 Pearls. Yikes.
In danger of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
I'm sorry, but I blame you.
Is that me? I knew I shouldn't have come into the booth.
I'm sorry, but
Hi.
that's the only variable.
Easy scapegoat.
Thank you.
Here's the pitch.
Okay.
High in the air.
Out of play.
That's going to drift out of play. Ay, ay, ay. The error very costly. Errors cost the Pearls last night, and they've cost the Crabs tonight.
That's right. They committed 4 last night, and
That's
we're
right.
up to 3 tonight.
That's right. And that one was rather costly.
I blame that guy getting towed.
Here's the pitch. Fouled out of play.
Car getting towed is a bad omen.
Count remains 3-2 to Hancock. Blake over a third, 2 runs in here in the 9th inning for the Pearls. And the pitch. Whoa, almost hits him, and a great stop by Soros. And so Hancock will draw the walk.
And here's Velo.
And here's Velo. He's 1 for 4.
And here comes
Robin.
Robin Guyver, and it looks like we're going to have a new pitcher.
I believe we are.
Yep.
Yep, that's going to be it for Kohlberg. And let's see, we'll see who is coming in. Do we know who this is coming in?
Well, you talk about a hard luck pitcher.
Man,
Kohlberg was set to get his first save of
he
the
sure
season.
was.
And
Not going to be.
1 error.
Yep, Adam Enyart.
It's Adam Enyart into pitch for the Crabs. Enyart's our local, Shohei Ohtani. He's,
Two-way player.
yeah, he's probably at the moment our best hitter in terms of just numbers, and he also pitches. And, so Adam Enyart on in relief. Let's go back to the studio to thank some of our sponsors. We'll be right back. This is Crabs Baseball, 107.3 FM.
Who do we have coming up in the 9th?
We have all right. We're back. A horrific top of the 9th inning as the Pearls have plated 2 runs to take the lead. Adam Enyart on in relief, the 4th pitcher of the night for the Crabs. Here's Velo with runners on the corners.
Power versus power in this situation.
That's
Hard
right.
thrower and a long ball hitter.
Here we go. Enyart sets, and the pitch. Fastball is outside.
92 mile an hour heater.
Crabs have some guys who throw pretty hard. 1-0. Pitch. In there at the knees. Actually right down the middle for a called strike. 1-1. Crabs 9th inning. It'll be McNeil, Rogers, and Perazo to bat. The 1-1. Grounded out to short. Throw to first. Ends the inning. But not before the Pearls get 2 runs. On 1 hit, there was an error and 2 left. And at the end of 8 1/2, they lead it 5-4. This is Desperate Crabs Baseball, 107.3 FM. All right, well, it turns out to be the last chance for the Crabs here in the bottom of the 9th inning, trailing 5-4. They've had their chances all night, Hook.
Yep.
But couldn't hold the lead. And the Pearls, you got to hand it to them. They fought hard. They fought back, and now they have the lead.
Never say die.
That's right. They've taken advantage of some Crabs mistakes. So it'll be McNeil, Rogers, and Peraza against Lorenzo Liu, looking for the save now. Crabs in danger of losing their, and that's pop fly in the right center field, playable. Williams has it. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Good wood, but as you say, can't do better than 1 pitch, 1 out from the standpoint of the Pearls.
That's right. Gonna have a pinch hitter. It's going to be
Number 9.
Mrs. Morris, not Aiden Morris, Keenan Morris. I keep calling him Aiden, but it's Keenan Morris. All right. His brother Aiden did play for the Crabs, but that was some time ago now. And Morris takes a fastball low and inside, 1-0. Peraza on deck. No pitch. In there for a strike at the knees, 1-1. Crabs' 8-game winning streak in jeopardy. One pitch. Oh, nasty breaking pitch caught on the outside corner, 1-2. That
Just
was
froze
wicked.
the batter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was wicked. 1-2. Breaking pitch misses low, and Lou thought he had it. 2-2. That pitch could have gone either way. It's right on the black and right at the base of the strike zone. 2-2. And that one hit him. So Morris aboard. Crabs will take it.
Absolutely.
Back to the top of the order. Here's Peraza.
Give it up for number 13.
And no one would like a hit better than Peraza.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Yeah, his air was opened the floodgate.
Lou sets. And the pitch. Strike. Oh, my Lord.
Come on, Benjamin. Come on.
I don't have the energy to, you know.
What's happened to you?
The 0-1 swung on and missed.
Ooh, that was.
Up and all of a sudden you become soft. Like, what?
1-2 to Peraza. Oh, 2. Oh, close pitch, but high. 1 and 2.
It was high.
The 1-2 fouled up against the screen, just missed it. Got a piece of it to stay alive. Morris still over at first. Morris can steal a base. Counts 1 and 2. Hands pounding the seats. The 1-2. Again, he fouls it up against the screen.
Making him work. Cavanosaurus on deck.
The 1-2. Again, he fouls it up against the screen. All right. Now the catcher out to have a word with Lou Hendricks.
It's not helping,
1 and 2. Call strike 3.
That is ridiculous, What planet are you on? Come on!
Called strike 3.
Oh, he's about to get heave-ho. Peraza, John at the ump, and I think he's just got tossed.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter at this point, but I think that he just did get tossed.
Yeah. Yeah.
The crowd is not happy.
Terrible call.
Well, the Crabs are in the same situation that the Pearls were earlier. They're down to their last out.
And there's a breaking pitch. They throw behind the runner. He's back in time. He called that a strike too? Yes, he did. 0-1. Now to Soros. Soros is 1 for 4. Here's the 0-1 in the dirt. 1-1. A stunning turn of events here at the Arcade Ballpark. 1-1 to Soros. Morris still over at first. Here's the pitch. Lined into center field for a base hit. Soros is going to hold it at second. That is, Morris is going to hold it second. And Cavanosaurus with his second hit of the night.
13 hits. One last shout out to Raiden. Bat boy.
First and second for the Crabs. The tying run in scoring position for Sewell. He's 1 for 3 tonight. I like to say Cavanosaurus because it sounds like he's a dinosaur.
Sounds like a dinosaur?
Cavanosaurus. Here's Sewell. Morris out at second. Soros at first, and he takes a pitch inside. Shockingly not a strike. 1-0. Crabs still alive. Down to their last out. And he cues that one foul. Oh, and they're going to call a balk.
They're calling
on
a
the
balk.
pitcher. That's huge. That puts the runners, two runners in scoring position.
Gracious.
Now a base
now
hit
the
can win the game
manager-
for the Crabs. Here comes the Pearls manager.
Mike Gerlach, the manager, coming to talk with the home plate umpire and see about that call.
So it's 1-0, I think. So last
And that conversation's going on, but now the Crabs, with the tying run at third base and the winning run at second, 2 outs. Some people think baseball is not a very exciting
I
game.
know, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Fox no pitch, a ball to the batter, and
All right. Second and third, 1-0 the count to Sewell.
I think it's 2-0 with the balk. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
2-0. Okay, 2-0 with the ball. Thank you. And the pitch. Hits
Hit it.
him.
Hit him.
Load, bases are loaded for Sutter Moss.
Crabs cleanup hitter. Sutter Moss going to come to the plate with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Fans are going wild. Here we go.
Big left-handed hitter to face the right-hander Lou. Game on the line. They haven't had a game like this in 6 years.
We not have a game like this in 6 years. That's true. Here's the pitch in the dirt. 1-0. Nice block by Hendricks. He has to protect the plate. The runner at third. Morris at third. Soros at second. Sewell at first. And there's a pitch that's high. 2-0. Nowhere to put Moss.
And the manager going to come out and have a word with the pitcher. There's nobody warming up.
No, it's his game to win or lose.
So he's just trying to steady his pitcher, get him to focus. 2-0 count. And a base on balls will tie the ball game.
And Sutter Moss can put a charge in the ball if he gets one.
Well, they don't have him batting cleanup
That's exactly right.
for no reason.
They certainly don't. All right, conversation over. Players return to their position.
All right.
2-0. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike right down the middle. 2-1.
Came in with an off-speed pitch there.
2-1 pitch. Line into right field, base hit. One run is going to score. Here comes the winning run. And the Crabs are going to walk off in the bottom of the 9th inning. A double for Sutter Moss to end the ball game. Wow, what a finish.
What a game. What a game.
Yikes.
Cardiac Crabs, baby.
Your final score, Humboldt Crabs 6, Stockton Pearls 5.
And the Crabs win it 6-5. A line drive down the right field line ends it. What an exciting, crazy ball game. Wow, Hope.
Couldn't be any
You
better.
couldn't have picked another better time to come back.
Oh, man, this was something else.
That was
Glad
something.
you ordered it.
Yeah, really. Just for you, man.
All right.
The Crabs in victory, 6 runs, 14 hits, 3 errors. The win goes to Adam Enyart.
That's right.
And for the Pearls, 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The loss, unfortunately, it goes to Lorenzo Liu, who was set up to win it until Sutter Moss drilled a 2-run double to win the game for the Crabs. Wow. Wow.
Well, couldn't have more excitement at the Arcata Ballpark than we had tonight. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. For my broadcasting buddies, the professor, Benjamin Schaefer, Mitchell Manji. We're rounded third and heading for home.